Steve, the natural question for me to ask is, how did you become so fascinated with entrepreneurship? Since post AOL, that's been a big theme of what you've talked about, certainly with the rise of the rest. And
I spent about 20 years building AOL. And then when we merged with Time Warner, stepped aside as CEO, and I was 40-ish. And the question was, what was I going to do next? And didn't really feel like starting another company, but did think it'd be interesting to back the next generation of entrepreneurs. Initially, more personal investments out of a family office, but then a few years after that, decided to scale it up and build more of a platform, which is what Revolution is. Now we have the Rise the Rest Seed Fund, Revolution Ventures, and Revolution Growth. But as part of that, I also got involved, probably 13, 14 years ago, was policy, here in Washington, D.C. related to entrepreneurship. I was asked to co-chair the first National Advisory Council on Innovation and Entrepreneurship. That led to President Obama launching an initiative at the White House called Startup America, which he asked me to chair. I also worked on the Jobs Council, worked on the legislation called the Jobs Act 10, 11 years ago. And that got me more focused on the importance of entrepreneurs, startups in driving job creation, economic development in the country, and also opened my eyes to the fact that there's such a disparity in terms of access to capital depending on where you live. And so that kind of drove some of our efforts around Rise the Rest. So it started with, more just being an entrepreneur and then trying to figure out how to support other entrepreneurs, invest in other entrepreneurs, and then figure out ways to try to be a voice around more systemic policy changes that could enable a more entrepreneurial economy and do it in a more inclusive way. So it wasn't just about San Francisco, New York, Boston. It was about cities all across the country being friendly to entrepreneurs and helping to incubate and scale companies and create jobs in those regions.